I grew up playing Halo. Lots of Halo. I played so much of it that it outranked the amount of hours I put into school 5 to 1. Trying to recall what I did before playing Halo is really difficult and all really blurry. I was homeschooled at the time, and you know what that means. No, not that I'm antisocial. That instead of riding the bus, doing homework, or getting good grades, I had a lot of time to play Halo. But there was a time where I wasn't even allowed to play Halo, back when I was less than 7 years old. Before I was allowed to play Halo, my dad would play it in the middle of the night. The only time a dad can really play a game. Being a dad is hard, guys. I speak from lots of no experience. You have to work all day, then come home and help the wife with the children. Then do the chores she couldn't do because of the children. Then hang out with the wife, try to relax, only to be interrupted by one of those damn children. So the only time you can actually play Halo when you're a dad is in the middle of the night. And you're probably going to be woken up by one of the children anyway, so you might as well play Halo in the kid's room. So when they wake up from that horrible nightmare, you're right there waiting for them. It's multitasking at its peak. Since I wasn't allowed to play Halo, my only way to see Halo being played was by watching my dad play it. And the only time I could watch him play Halo was in the middle of the night. Therefore, I would wake up in the middle of the night almost every single time he played. And instead of going back to sleep like I should have, I stayed up and watched him slay aliens for an hour or two. I'm pretty sure my dad told me to go back to sleep a couple times when he realized I was awake, but that never worked. You expect me to sleep when you put a game of this caliber in my face?
My ass!
After several nights of watching him play either Halo 1 or 2, my next goal was obviously to now play the game I had been getting blue balls watching this whole time. So I asked my dad several different times, and the answer was always no. But there was one day I pried into why, and he said I wasn't old enough. Okay, so this is a problem, right? There's no way around this problem because I can't convince him of any other solution, and his solution involves me being older. And the only way to get older is to wait. Now let's be honest, I wanted to play Halo so bad and hadn't ever actually played it before. Halo was obviously infused into my baby formula in some way.
If you gaze at me much longer, we might as well exchange fluids.
You could tell I was a gamer, and gamer time is different than real world time. It goes faster than regular time when you're gaming, but when you aren't gaming, it slows down to the pace of molasses. This was a major issue, as I had to be 7 years old to play Halo, but get this, I was 6 years old, and it was like 2 months away from being my birthday. For those of you who aren't aware of the scientific formula to determine the conversion between real-world time and gamer time, just take any amount of regular time, say 2 months, and multiply it by 262. Let's see, carry the 4. That's about 99999. And by the time I'd be allowed to play Halo, I'd be like 49 years old. Okay, so it turns out I'd only be 7 years old, but that's what it felt like at the time. Eventually, after many years of waiting, I finally turned 7. It was my birthday, and my dream came true. It actually happened. I could play Halo. But there was still a catch. I had to play with my dad. We had to play co-op. I guess he didn't want me thinking killing was okay. Like, what if I went into the campaign and just started killing all the Marines and then thought as a result of that I could think killing real people is okay? I don't know. Guys, back then the consensus was video games could make you violent, so I get why he did it. And could you imagine trying to enforce that rule in Halo Infinite? It would have been kind of clever, but also kind of a dick move. Son, you can't play Halo unless it's split screen with me. Okay, Dad, that's fine. Let's play. Sorry, son. Fuck you. There's no split screen in this game. So we started playing Halo, and wow, I was blown away. Just thinking about it now gets me emotional. I loved everything about it. The menus, the UI, the music, the intro, the difficulties, the Halo ring itself. If I could go back in time to see the look on my face. I don't know what it's like to play Halo as a dad with a 7-year-old, but my guess is it wasn't exactly pleasant. Think about it, my dad probably just wanted to safeguard his alone time from having to teach me how to play Halo. In addition to that, if he ever plays Halo, I'll want to play immediately. Having a son, rough life. From what I remember, we played all the way through Halo 1. Maybe not all on the same day, but we played every single mission, And I even remember my dad telling me that we'd play on normal because easy is a little too easy. From there, the memories we'd make on Halo would be countless. It must have been torture when my dad was at work, not being able to play without him at all. Luckily, I don't remember any of that. Somehow, a lot of the things that I may have considered bad about my life at that time are just gone. I was one of the ones that wasn't able to experience Halo 2 on Xbox Live. Yes, that's right. From what I hear, I missed out on a hell of a time. The stories I hear about Halo 2 Xbox Live are much like what I experienced myself on Halo 3 and Halo Reach. I just simply played the campaign over and over again. It never got boring. And if it ever did, I did what any other young boy would do when a campaign got boring. I played multiplayer. By myself, of course. By Halo 2, I was able to play Halo alone. Didn't need anyone else by my side, though I still got my dad to play any chance I could. My experience on Halo 2 is much like Halo Combat Evolved. Everything I said earlier applies to Halo 2. I just wish I could have played online a little bit. Up until Halo 3, I had been playing offline against my friends or alone, just wandering the multiplayer maps or playing campaign, and there was just as much of that in Halo 3. I would go around just exploring the maps, wondering what happened to them. Where did the people go? Where did the Covenant go? What were those Sentinels doing? Why were there giant towers on Sandtrap, and especially Sandbox, where they were a lot more lethal? Were we being protected, or were we trapped prisoner here? I had discovered quite a bit in that time, like the secret room on Sandtrap.
That's it? That's the whole meme?
Yep, that's the meme right there, dude. The Da Vinci Easter eggs next to the top of the Guardian Towers.
I genuinely don't see a fucking thing.
Really?
Is it at the tip of it?
Yeah. Little thing, you know? It just disappears, deletes it.
Weird map quirks.
Yeah.
But if you get... What the fuck?
How to get out of the map on Valhalla. Holy crap, dude. I still have the file. Wow. All those years ago. It's still there, in the same spot. Place another one. I die, and then I go to theater mode. How do you free cam? How do you... Oh, no, damn it. Oh, wait, no, I'm still out here. Okay, there we go. Very select few will remember this, but the only reason I learned how to do this was from a really old video. And there was no commentary, there's just some text on the screen with the No Handlebars song playing. Oh yeah, dude, this is the cool part. We're going above the clouds. And they're gone. Finding the weirdo in the corner on the last campaign mission. Finding the crazy grunt on the same level just before you jump onto the Forward Unto Dawn.
It's the gas! Even I'm on the gas! I don't know what I'm doing half the time!
Or the creepiest of them all. The ghost on Last Resort. What are you doing? Oh, really? What am I doing? Oh, I'm waiting for the ghost on Last Resort. There were so many Easter eggs that it'd be hard to list them all, and if I missed one, I'd go crazy, so I won't do that. By this point, I'd finally gotten Xbox Live. One golden month to go out into the world and meet people to play my favorite game with. My name on Xbox at the time when I was playing offline was Water. Yep, Water. That's it. When it came to making my account, I guess my dad had made an entirely new one for me with Xbox Live attached, and Water was taken. So I did what a young man does best. Improvise. Water A17 was my new name. Incredible craftsmanship, I know. Water A17 became the original name that every one of my friends knew me as for a very long time. Water was probably the best name I could have had for that time. Joining my first online game, I was playing Lone Wolves on Snowbound. People apparently didn't like Snowbound, but I either love it or it's shrouded in nostalgia. When I spawned in, I saw someone immediately to my right and started opening fire. This turned out to be my rival. He was the best player in the lobby, but I was surprised when I looked at the scoreboard at the end of the game and realized I'd won. This is my first ever game online and I won. It was probably the best feeling I had so far playing Halo. When I think back to that first month of Xbox Live, the only thing that comes to mind is the constant high I was feeling, and I get a little bit of that high back every time I play to this day. I guess you could say I'm chasing a dragon every time I play. I met almost all of my friends on Halo, had the first month of gold on Halo. The first time I got over 1000 gamer score was on Halo. Whenever I think of good times on Xbox, Halo comes to mind, every single time. I met some people that didn't stick around very long too, but they still made that month worth it. Common Cold, Yellow Squirrel, Underground Dog 99, Clavio 3, all these people made getting on Xbox worth it, no matter what we did. I hope that one day they'll see this video and remember the times we had. You guys were awesome. I don't know who helped me with getting all the skulls and getting over 1000 gamer score, but I got that within the month too. I really wanted all the armor I could possibly get in as little time as possible. Getting through a little bit of achievement hunting, my friend was really mad I got the security armor in Halo 3. I think it was because of the Marathon Man achievement. That would unlock the shoulders, but then if you got another achievement towards unlocking them, they would relock the shoulders, something like that. Not knowing that at the time, my friend thought I hacked to get them. It was awesome being accused of something I had zero idea how to do. This is what my Spartan looked like when I was done, and I was so proud of myself for getting it all. I was always told I looked like a bumblebee with that helmet, but let's be honest, it's a bean for sure. I went into matchmaking, and I wanted to play some team doubles this time. This was of course when people still had mics and talked to each other in game chat. I started chatting with my teammate, and we got along super well. He seemed like a pretty mature guy. I asked him how old he was at some point, and he had a deep voice, so being at 11 at the time, I figured he was like 40. He said he was in his 20s. He asked me how old I was, and I said 11. I always thought this guy was cool. He said, "Really? You have a deep voice for an 11-year-old." Even to this day, I'll ask my friends if my voice was ever high-pitched, and they all say it just stayed the same. Pretty sure that isn't true, but I'm glad my reputation was never tainted by me screeching in-game like a banshee. You guys remember being invited to random games by your recent players? I wish people still did that. My friends list is still full of people that I met back then. I join these frequently too, finding game modes like Jenga, Darkness Falls, Banana Chambers, or Shark Attack, amongst other game modes that were just as good. I hardly ate as a result of these game modes, and Halo 3 in general, just being so fun. My mom had to bring me food, otherwise I was practically starving myself. In fact, I was actually getting a little chubby when I was 11 years old. Now you might think it was because I was in my room just playing Halo 3 for a month straight, most likely just eating horribly. No. In fact, it was Halo 3 and Xbox Live that saved me from my potential weight gain problem, because I had absolutely starved myself. It was uncontrollable. My parents were concerned. My mom would bring me food every now and then, and I was just having so much fun that I didn't eat it. Yeah, food was brought to me while playing Halo as if I was being served like a king, and I didn't eat it. If I did, it was a bite or two, just enough to keep me from thinking about hunger. I was too busy playing custom games. Before my Xbox Live came to an end, I remember talking to Underground Dog, one of the guys I mentioned earlier. And he was asking when I would come back, if ever. I told him I didn't know if I'd ever be back. At this point in time, I had no idea what would take place when my month had ended. I wasn't sure if I'd keep the friends I made, or ever be able to speak to them again. Honestly, I was under the impression everything would go back to the way it was before I went online for the first time. Playing by myself, but this time just hoping my parents would give me more time, more Xbox Live Gold. I told Underground Dog I appreciated his help getting the gamer score and the armor, that we got together completing the campaign on Legendary. We both now had over 1,000 gamer score. We played some games together on matchmaking and a custom game or two. And then we said goodbye. My Xbox Live had ended. When I turned my Xbox on a day later, I was greeted with still being online. I thought my connection would have just snapped, dropped, faded away, but instead, I was able to see my friends list. I immediately attempted to get my friends in a party, only to be greeted with something I couldn't bear to see. I had a silver account. That being the case, I couldn't invite my friends to a party, couldn't play games with them. The only thing I could do was talk to them in a private chat. I was crushed by this, not being able to talk or play with any of my friends I had made over that blissful month of Xbox Live. But worst of all, being able to see them playing Halo 3 without me. Having that fun I remember having every day, I was teased with for the next 6 months. Unable to partake in the one thing that made me truly happy, I was on the hunt for anything that could get me back online. A loophole of some sort. Soon enough, I was told about 2-day Xbox Live Gold trials that were found in your very games that you play. I used these passes as soon as I found them. One at a time, I burned through several, lasting maybe a couple weeks and not all at once. There wasn't a steady supply, but I had a few, and so did the friends that I made over that month's time. It's not like they needed them, they had Xbox Live all the time. I couldn't believe their parents just let them have gold. Like, how did they pull that off? After this 6-month stint of on and off Xbox Live, I had finally gotten another month of it for winter break. I had a month off school for the winter, and with that came a trip to the one place nobody can forget, Blockbuster. I went to Blockbuster and they gave me the option of renting either Mass Effect 2 or Halo 3 ODST. The choice wasn't so clear, as one of my friends at the time had told me before I went that ODST wasn't very good. Truth is, I didn't believe him, but I did value his opinion a little bit. Not knowing anything about Mass Effect, I stuck to what was familiar to me. I returned home with ODST extremely excited, but what really sold me was the second disc. That second disc was the catalyst for many good times, even better than the last month of Gold. Starting it up, I was so excited to see what was new. But instead of going anywhere trying to find what was different, I just waited and listened to this beautiful track. This music brought me the most joy I had ever experienced, because it always meant I was about to play my favorite game. These days, though, it often brings me a feeling of ancient memories, lost times. A feeling that can really only be described as something you get in the pit of your stomach. I love the Halo soundtrack. It's the only music that truly takes me back to when I was young. Back to when things couldn't be any better than they were in that moment, playing Halo with my friends. And sometimes that's still the case. My happy place still resides with me and all my friends playing Halo together. I couldn't think of a time I'd rather go back to. There's nothing I'd rather do nowadays than simply return to those coveted times. We always come back and play Halo every now and then, but it's not like it used to be. We're adults now, and the things we're responsible for kind of take away most of our time. I had eventually moved on from the music and gone into Forge mode, where I discovered that there were a ton of new maps that I only dreamed of playing, because most of them are locked behind a paywall
Of 800 Microsoft coins.
Makes me feel like I'm 80 years old telling a story like back in my day. So I started up a few maps and played around with what I could, but my absolute favorite was Sandbox. Sandbox had such an incredible vibe to it. It seemed very ominous, obviously abandoned, and just made me ask, why was it even there? I explored every part of that map till my adrenaline stopped pumping and my body eventually told me to sleep. I played around with every single Forge object, light, gadget, weapon, and anything else I had access to, just imagining what could be done with it all. What maps could I forge, and what maps were already available to play with my friends? I wouldn't be able to join people's games sometimes because I didn't have the required maps. But now I had every map in the game, and I was ready to go, ready to play more custom maps with friends. I made a friend named Elated Mac in the first month, and when I came back, he was excited to play Halo again with me. Elated Mac and I played so many more custom games in the first month because I finally had gotten the maps. Another month came, and more good times followed suit. But before that month had ended, a special holiday came on December 25th. Christmas. I wanted 2 games for Christmas, but I was unsure if I'd get both of them. Black Ops 1 and Halo Reach. I told my parents I wanted the new Halo, but at the same time, I had been loving playing World at War Zombies. Which one would I choose? I went up to my mom before Christmas at some point and I told her, I think I want Black Ops more than Halo. Sinful, I know, but then Christmas arrived. The vast majority of the friends I made and actually played with online had to wait till Christmas to get Halo Reach. I am selfishly very thankful for that, as I had to partake in the grueling wait to play the new Halo as well. Halo Reach isn't the game where I met all my friends, but it was definitely the game where I built most of the friendships that matter to me today and have had a lasting effect on me as a person. Most of the people I mentioned earlier in the video, I wasn't really playing with much anymore, but they were very soon replaced with most of my current friends that are still with me even now. Most, if not all, these guys are in my Discord server, and even if we don't play every day like we used to, we still have an unbreakable friendship that will last until we're both gone. The memories are uncountable. My favorite things to play in matchmaking were SWAT, Team Snipers, Multi-Team, specifically Rocket Race, and Invasion. Out of all of them, we probably played SWAT the most, and something about it always kept me coming back. I know, you saw that too? Yes! 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 We used to have our own clans, of which the names were changing very consistently. I always wanted to be party leader, game leader, clan leader. I loved rallying the troops every day so we could play more Halo. My best memories have to be playing custom games with my friends like Shame University, Bumper Cars, Jump Rope, Splatter Monkey, Joyriders, Speed Halo. All of it was just incredible. My favorite out of all of them was Bumper Cars. I loved the random moments we'd all create together. Sometimes we'd fly across the map because of a weird glitch that would happen in the original Halo Reach. It doesn't seem to happen anymore on MCC. Back then I had a window of time in which I could play Xbox. I can't recall the beginning of the window. I think it was 12 p.m., but I definitely remember the end time, and that was 7 p.m. At 7 p.m., if my parents caught me playing, they'd get mad at me and force me to turn off the Xbox. Maybe they'd give me 5 more minutes, but that was never a good enough deal. On occasion, though, when my parents were staying up later on the weekends, I would go out and ask them if I could play later. At one point, they said I could play till midnight, and that became the standard for asking to play after 7. I'd always ask them if I could play till midnight. If they ever said any earlier than that, it was a worse night. Sometimes I'd get on and start playing, and the first thing my friends would say is to go ask my parents if I could play later. Just knowing that we'd be playing all day, knowing that we'd be having fun, knowing that we'd be having the time of our lives, they told me to go ask them. It usually worked out. I remember there was one night they said no, and I was just lying awake in bed while my parents were laughing, having a good time. And one of my parents came in my room at like 9 p.m. and told me I could get back on. I returned that night, and it's like everyone knew. Everyone knew that somehow I'd be online, and we all joined each other again and played till midnight. These friends I couldn't live without. They mean the world to me, and I'd do anything for them. It was so easy to play Halo back then. We don't play like we used to, and that's to be expected. But it makes me wonder why. Is it because of the stress we have as adults, or the time restrictions? Maybe both. I hope one day that will go away, and we'll all return to playing games consistently, even if it's not Halo. But as long as we're having fun, and we're together, no matter how corny that sounds, that's what matters. In this video, I wanted to project how much I appreciate my friends and how much they made a difference in my life. How if we hadn't done what we did back then, I wouldn't be making this video, and we'd have completely different memories. During this journey, I hope you guys, the viewers, had similar experiences to mine, if not better. I hope you guys can share your favorite Halo experiences with me like I'm sharing with you now, and how my friends are going to share their best memories soon as well. These are all my friends. These are the people that have made my gaming experience and my life in general so meaningful. If I hadn't been introduced to these games by my dad, I wouldn't have made all the friends I have today. So thank you, Dad, for giving me the opportunity to play these games at such a young age. You set the course for me to meet so many people, including my best friends, that are still by my side today. If I hadn't been fed during these times, I would have been a skeleton with a controller in my hands by the time I was done playing Halo. So thank you, Mom, for taking the time to make sure I didn't starve to death or thirst to death, telling me to shower and brush my teeth, all the things a young boy should do, but really doesn't want to do. And thank you both for homeschooling me so that I had more than enough time to play Halo and become the person I am today. Thank you to all my friends for being there every single day, inviting me to a party every day, knowing I would never join because I wanted to be the party leader. Thank you for joining that Xbox Live party every day, and thank you for all the memories we made together and we'll never forget. If I haven't conveyed how much you guys made a difference in my life yet, I don't think I know how. I've asked all my friends what they experienced back then, their perspectives, their favorite good times. I contacted some old friends too, some of which never replied, and some I've lost all contact with. I hope you'll watch what comes next. What was your best Halo experience of all time, and what do you remember back then?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Where are your parents? You're supposed to respect your elders.
I like Jenga.
Let's see. When I was very, very young, I remember my brother getting Halo 3, the limited edition or whatever it was, the steel box.
I had taken your invite to a custom game by like chance, you know. And I would invite or accept invites from other people on Halo. But it's just crazy how a whole community was created over some random dude that I played in a Slayer game.
Well, it's kind of a long time ago and a loaded question, I guess. I didn't have Xbox Live before I met you. It was actually us meeting on Global War that made me ask my dad, like really seriously begging him, like, can I please get Xbox Live? Because up until then, my family wanted me to not go online, mainly just for fear of meeting strangers and being abducted or something like that. I don't know.
Well, if you remember, we actually did not meet on Reach, but most of our memories do, well, my memories come from Reach with you. It started on Halo 3 with like stuff like trash compactor and stuff like that, and then it turned into like the rework on here, and like my most profound memories though.
But then Halo Reach, when that came around, that was I didn't have Xbox Live Gold for an entire year.
I started off playing in like Comedy Bowl too. It's crazy to think how I got, you know, people's social medias and Facebooks and Instagrams, you know, and joined whole Discord communities just through like messages that were sent, exchanging usernames on Xbox Live of all places. It's crazy to think about that.
But anyhow, when I finally got Xbox Live, it opened up like this entirely different world to like, I don't know how old I was, maybe 10 or 11 at that time, maybe a little older. You're talking a time where I was so young, I didn't really have to worry about anything. I went to school and I came home and I played my video games and I talked to my new friends and I just had a blast doing that. And I just remember countless hours and hours just spent on custom games, whether it was the modded one where it was this map and they just had like this entire area filled with like the flat walls and you just go in circles around the island and you'd have the one really fast zombie who'd chase the car and then, you know, yada yada. There's like, I'm forgetting all the custom game modes. It's been so long, but yeah, Joyrider.
More or less like all of our SWAT matches, like actually going into the game, that's whenever I started like super duper getting into like getting better, playing it constantly, almost every single day.
Once I got my gold, I met this one kid. Well, I met several kids. I met this one guy, all legit gamer. He introduced me to Water A17. And I didn't know it at the time, but that would change my entire life because Water A17, Spartan 00062, BFS or COS David 8491, they would all be my best friends for years.
It's hard to say what was my most memorable moment on Halo or my best memories because they all kind of blend together. And it seemed like every time I got on Halo, there was always like a new awesome memory being made on Forge or on some custom game.
My favorite Halo, it comes down to Halo 3 and Halo Reach. Mainly because Reach was the one that I played a lot, and Halo 3 was the one that got me hooked on all of console gaming. When I first picked up the controller for Halo 3, it was incredible. Because Halo was the first thing that I experienced on the Xbox 360.
My favorite thing is Splatter Monkey. I think that's what it's called. No, not that, but Speed. It was just called Speed. The thing where you kind of go on warthogs and just zoom all the way down, trying to like run over people at the speed of light, pretty much. That I used to spend hours on.
Like by then, MCC had already been out, and I'm pretty sure that Halo 5 had probably been out too. So those games had already been out, and we're playing on Halo 3. I guarantee you, it was like a total population online on that game of like 700, because I remember seeing that number. Just 700 people in the entire world, and it would light up like where in the world the most people would be playing, and it's crazy because you just see little dots. Like I saw a little dot within my own state, and I'm like, I'm the only person playing within this entire state right now.
The things we did on Halo Reach, I can't get over those. Like, I was warrant officer, I think. That was like the most memorable rank in the game for me, just because it took so long to get through. We would play SWAT and infection just like day in and day out. There wasn't a single moment of my day at school where I wasn't thinking like, damn, I can't wait to play with my friends. I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to pull up the Xbox. Because just custom games in general has just been the highlight of every Halo game.
Splatter Monkey was also another good thing. Jenga, Trash Compactor. There's some zombie thing. I don't really know what it is. But it's like the coolest thing that I had seen from it was that you could use the dice and like punch them to use as doors and to like lock yourself in a room, but then zombies would come like knock it in and just rush in on you. Oh, you fat kid. I love that one.
I also remember I used to get back home from school and I would be super excited to like hop on Xbox because, you know, everyone would invite you instantly the moment you got online. It was just our group culture just to instantly invite you no matter what. But I remember turning on my Xbox and I had a box TV, like those box monitors, and it took those 3 little color prongs to like plug into the back of it, and it wouldn't work correctly unless you like slapped the box TV and like wiggled the color coded plugins. I remember making it like it was such a hassle to like turn on the Xbox and get the monitor to work, but like it was worth it every time because I got to play some custom games or whatever we're playing that day, but mostly Halo. I don't think we played much other than Halo or some Call of Duty.
Me and my brother Christian would be on, and as soon as we saw water came on, that as soon as we saw that, we would invite you like as soon as that happened.
The best memory like that automatically comes to mind is like bumper cars. I think that's what it was. We would play bumper cars and we would I don't know, for hours just play the same custom game over and over again till somebody rage quit. It was so fun and so annoying at the same time, but I mean it was all enjoyable, you know. We'd come home from school and you know everybody'd be there ready to go. Weekends we'd spend hours upon hours doing the same thing.
No sprint, you know, for Halo 3. That's a big letdown. That's a solid 1.5 star loss. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
You serious?
The most fun that I ever remember having was playing teacher. Like, you remember playing teacher?
Oh yeah.
Teacher always wound up being like one of the smallest little memories in my head. Just whenever we could get everybody in there, and like it was just fun to like role play that out, and like it was always a blast if the students actually won. But then like whenever we come up with like the little rules about, okay, so no assassinating the teacher, no like trying to cut it out to make it a little bit harder, that was like the most fun that I ever had, especially whenever I was a student, because that made it a little more difficult to do anything, you know?
My favorite map of all time was Indiana Jones. That's what it was. I remember I joined a guy's game, and I got killed by a kill ball pretty instantly because I didn't know what the hell was going on. But once I figured out what was going on, I played that game mode almost every day, just starting it up and everybody sprinting from a kill ball. And then, like, of course I downloaded the map and was like, all right, I'm gonna learn all the secrets of this map, so whenever I played again, no one else can beat me. That was a big Halo memory for me, was just mastering that Indiana Jones map.
Bumper Cars Halo Reach was the greatest in the world. Every time we played, I would die. I would be dying. I just couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. There was no way I wouldn't have fun on Bumper Cars. And I always had 3 or 4 people to enjoy it with.
Because a lot of people nowadays, some people, but will play games, and move on to play something like Siege or this and that for a reward, and you could do that with Halo, but we were just coming together to play a game that would have literally not benefited us at all, except for having fun with how it works. Like, we'd have that much fun with it. I think my favorite memory was probably just with Jenga. We'd put hours into that when we would stand on the Jenga tower and somebody would have to knock a vehicle off. I don't know why that one was my favorite, but Jenga on Halo 3 was just so crazy. You could hang on to the Jenga tower so well and just be the last person standing until there's nothing but like this pallet.
The best part was just making the memories, It was like we're all brothers, Me, you, and David kind of were like the trio before everybody else came around. Back to, the Minecraft days. We were just constantly playing Minecraft. I mean, we all became brothers, and we've stayed that way for the most part. Sure, we don't hang out and game as much as we used to before. We've all got our own lives, We got a lot of stuff going on, and we've all gone different ways on different games.
Multiplayer was fun. It was very competitive, but it's like that wasn't what I played for. I played for like playing with friends. I couldn't sit here and play Halo by myself for like 5 hours, some stupid amount of time. I would have to have friends there talk to me, because I don't know. I've never been a fan of playing by myself, but I think what pulled me to the fact of playing Halo was because I could play with my friends.
Water A17, he always joined. He brought the group together like every day. Halo is not something I can imagine my life without. Since I could hold a controller, I've had Halo. My neighbors had an original Xbox, and they had Halo 1, and we would go over there, my brother and I, when I was like 3 and he was 5. He's 4 years older than me. I don't know why I said 3 and 5. 3 and 8. That's not 4 years. You know what I mean?
It was awesome, man. There's probably been no time in my life like that period where I was able to play Halo and a small collection of other games with the same group of people, and really just, I don't know, it getting into a game like this gives you such crazy nostalgia, because I don't know, all of those experiences and memories come flooding back, and it sucks. It's bittersweet because you can't relive it the same way that you experienced it the first time. It's really just, it's sweet in the sense that you can recall the good times that you had, and bitter in the sense that you'll never get that back, that same enjoyment, that same period of your life where you could just sit here and play this, and that was your day-to-day. And
I remember we would always try to one-up each other on like who could get the most kills.
Right.
That was always fun. That was like a running thing, Who could top the boards?
you know. And if it wasn't for like meeting you guys and accepting your random invite, this dude, you know, on freaking Xbox Live matchmaking that I just played a team doubles with, I would have never experienced, you know, one of the best things about Halo, just a community that it actually has. And dude, I'm so happy that happened. Now that was one of my favorite moments of gaming, and that's probably why I'm still coming back to play this stuff now.
I really do miss playing so much. And I really do miss playing Halo.
Yeah, Valhalla was the first map I played on Halo. Because my brother-in-law had an Xbox 360. Me at the time, I was only playing like GameCube, like Nintendo stuff. I didn't even know what a 360 was. And he gave me the controller, and it was on this map. And I picked up a sniper, and I sniped someone from all the way across. And I thought that was nuts. I thought that was awesome. And like, from that point, I got my own 360. I got my own Halo 3. I started playing a lot more. And also, this map is freaking beautiful.
Oh, Snuggle. That's another one that I really feel like had the biggest crush on Nolan back in the day. David, I don't know, man, that guy. You know, I definitely miss everybody. I definitely would be down to have like a weekend where we could all get back on and just nostalgic playing, you know, bumper cars or just whatever everybody wants to do, you know? And just, I don't know, man, thinking about those days, they're hard to forget, but they're hard to remember sometimes because it was so long ago. I feel like it definitely set the course for kind of how we were going to grow up.
Snuggle 100% had a crush on Nolan, Noble, Water A17, whatever you want to call him. And I don't know about that Justin guy either. He's kind of whack, so yeah.
Well, man, you're tipping over.
I'm tipping. Oh, okay. All right, I'm back. Anyway.
Do you have anything else to add, or?
I like Jenga.
All right, man. That'll work for me.
I mean, no, I'm just trying to think here. Like, you know, like, do I have a dad?
Mr. Noble loves oatmeal. Trust me on that.
So, I just want to say, Mr. Noble has a big neck, and I think that's very giraffe. That's it.
I asked him personally. He said his top favorite thing is oatmeal.
Do you have a dad?
He has it every day for breakfast, every day for lunch, every day for dinner, even as a dessert.
Why aren't there whales? You notice there's a less amount of aquatic life on this planet? Look at it. There's nothing out there. It's just blue. There's not even waves. It's flat water. Who lives with flat water? Not me. That's who. Two jackals take off their shields. You ever think about that? But you never had that come across your mind. Is this limbo? Are we already dead? I thought it was gonna be like a quick little segment. You know what I mean? Like I'll just sit and be like, "Do grunts have dads?"
This was my experience, and I know a lot of you have made incredible memories, just like my friends and I. It is, and always will be, one of the best and most memorable times in my life. Thank you for watching.
This is it, baby. Hold me.